Welcome to the second video. We're picking up where we left off on the previous video, and this is that section I showed you with the copper wire that runs around the beam. And if you'll notice, you'll see those two really taut steel wires. Those are like piano string, and those are used to define the edge of the top of the beam of the pool. You'll see in just a second. It's really cool. So these are the first shots of the actual spraying of the gunite. And what he's doing right here is building up the top. You can see how it's sprayed out under high pressure, and it's depositing the concrete, which is like a 3 slump, very stiff mixture. And it's stiff enough to stay there. And as it cures, then they'll come back and start working on it. This is cool. You can see how as he's spraying, you can see it kind of pulsating. It's like it goes up and then goes down. What that is that pump that's up to on the other side of the job has two cylinders opposite one another that push and pull, and they push the concrete through that hose. It's technically not pumping, it's pushing. And there it goes right there. Now to recycling and pushing. This is a cool shot. You can see exactly how much build you can get from gunite or shotcrete. You can theoretically go as high or as wide as you want. You just keep adding to it. This is a shot from my drone, and what this is showing is the job site kind of as a whole, the pool, and the guys are already in there doing the gunite. So what you see is basically the outside perimeter of the pool, which is what we call the beam, and that's a foot thick. That is a 12-inch thick piece of concrete that goes all the way around the top of the pool, and the walls on this pool are 8 inches thick, and the rebar is number 4 half-inch rebar tied on 10-inch centers. It is loaded with rebar. Also, you can see the hoses that they're using to, bring the gunite from the concrete pump to the nozzle. They stretch those over the top of the pool, and then you can see a guy there. He's already kind of working on the gunite. And you can also see to the right that they have tarps draped over the entire job between the pool and the house. These guys really are jam up. They kept, you don't want any concrete or any overspray getting on that house. So yeah, this is just showing how they do. It's pretty time consuming, and the truck will it brings 8 yards at a time, and I think it was on about a 40-minute interval is how long it would take them to spray an entire 8 yards. If you notice those hoses, you'll see them kind of jerking. That's pulsating because that pump, that's one stroke of that cylinder pushing that concrete to the end. So this is a cool shot from the drone overhead, and you'll notice that the pool is perfectly parallel with the house. This pool is laid out. The architect gave very specific dimensions of where this pool was going to go, so it gives you an idea of how it's parallel to the house. Here you can see the concrete truck backed up to the concrete pump, which is attached to their work truck with all their hoses and stuff on top. And there's also an air compressor. The air compressor is the orange thing, and when the concrete comes out of the truck, you can see here I'm getting in close with the drone, trying not to hit the house. It comes out of the chute there. You can see it moving down. It goes into the pump, and like I say, there are 2 cylinders under the bottom of the pump. There's also an outlet that swings over, so once it lines up with one of the cylinders that's pushing the concrete, then as the cylinder retracts and backs up, that swings over to the other cylinder, and now it's pushing, and that's how that concrete pump works. I almost hit the house right there. I mean, I came within inches of that house. This is another good shot of the pool, the progress that they've made. I think that was one truck. Here you go, you can see the guy is using a trowel to form the beam of the pool to to that steel wire we're talking about, and it goes from the 2x4 over to the steel wire, and that is exactly how they form and shape the gunite. Now this is a little later in the process. You can see they pretty much got all the walls done, and the walls get done first, and then the bottom is last. But you can see they've got some scaffold that they put up there to stand on. But there he is, using that wire as a guide to shape the top of that beam. Over here you can see they've already started working on the Baja and getting that shaped out. I think this is probably the second truck. This pool took 40 yards of concrete to build, actually. Well, this is kind of cool. This is where you can see they're starting to shape the vertical walls from the beam down, from the edge down. And they use these scrapers, and this guy will come along with the level. You'll see him in just a second. What he's doing is he gives him a level reference point, and right there, the reason he's able to scrape that wall plumb is because he's scraping to those marks that guy is leaving with the level. It's really cool, and that edge is just as square and vertical as it can possibly be. You can really see the progress they're starting to make now. There he is with the level. He's touching the top edge of the tight wire with the level and getting a plumb mark down on the pool, and that's it. They go all the way around this pool, working the top and the sides down towards the bottom. This is my man Alfredo here, and he's shaping the steps. He is in charge of doing all the detail work. And the pool is almost done at this point. It's really coming, into shape now. You can see the Baja, which is going to be 8 inches deep. And then you'll have steps down to the shallow. So backing up just a little bit, here's some more drone footage of the pool as they're kind of getting ready to, work the sides in. You can see the two main drains right there, and then some of the plumbing for the lights and the returns and the skimmers down at the bottom right. But just to kind of recap, this pool, I think it was a total of about 40 yards of concrete, and what you'll see coming up in the next videos, the dirt that is surrounding this pool, well, that's where the pool deck will go. So I'm going to do a separate video on the deck, how we do all the coping, all the water edge tile. There'll be a retaining wall on the back side of this a pool. If you see the guy right there with the yellow hat, kind of right behind him, that's going to be a retaining wall, and it's going to have beautiful coping top to match, and then it'll have 3 waterfalls, 2 or 3 built into it with some lights. It's going to be really beautiful. So after we do that video, that'll probably be the third, and then I think it may even be a fourth, to tie all the details together. So basically, with this little short series of videos, you'll see the entire pool process from digging the hole to filling it with water, showing the installation of all of the mechanical parts of the pool, the plumbing, all the returns, the skimmers, the drains, how the entire pool works. And I want to thank you for watching the video, and just please hit like and subscribe. It helps to get the video out so others can see it, and I will hopefully have the third installment coming soon if weather permits. Now we're in wintertime and it's raining every time we turn around, but as soon as I get some good footage on that, I will be sure and post it. Thank you very much.